Hi everyone, my name's Karen Richardson, and I will be your instructor this semester for ADMS 647, otherwise known as Educational Technology for School Leaders. The purpose of this course is to introduce you to the world of educational technology. We'll be taking something of a technical approach in terms of learning how to use some technologies, but we'll also be spending a lot of time focusing on school issues, on how to integrate technology, how to plan for it, how to fund for it, and so on and so forth. We'll get into the details as we go along, but I thought it might help to have kind of an overview of just why a course like this is necessary as part of a leadership program at Virginia Commonwealth University. And I'm going to do that in this very short video. So let me just bring up the window I want here. I'm just going to take you on an tour of the web using Google Images. Because I think there are some things that are going on in the world right now that mean that technology is more than just the chalkboard in the teacher's classroom. It's more than the paper and pencil. There's a pressure these days with the kinds of digital technologies that are widely available to everyone that have begun to put pressure on education as well. And these are the kinds of big picture topics that we'll be dealing with as we go through the class. So I started at Google Images and I typed in Web 2.0. We hear all about Web 2.0 and how different it is from Web 1.0. And we'll talk about that as we go through the class. Essentially, the difference is that the technologies now are collaborative so that anybody can publish on the internet. Anybody can put their pictures up on the internet. You'll be publishing on the internet during the course of this semester and commenting and talking with each other and really using the internet to collaborate. That's really kind of what Web 2.0 is all about. But it can be overwhelming, as these pictures show you. This is a graphic of all the different Web 2.0 technologies that are available. Here's sort of a standard one that shows the various words that go along with it: participation and convergence, more samples of different technologies. So it's this kind of world much different than the world that maybe you and I grew up in, where your telephone was tethered to the wall and your TV didn't have a remote. Now we have the possibility of working with people all over the world. We have the possibility of becoming published writers without ever publishing a regular book. We have the opportunity to do so many exciting things with this technology, and yet we also know that there are issues related to it as well, and that our students have issues in terms of how much information they should share and how involved they should get in communities and who they should be involved with and the kind of people that they're getting in touch with and the sort of pictures that they're publishing and all those kinds of things. But yet as adults sometimes we step back because here's the search on digital natives. We tend to think, I didn't grow up with this. I don't know all that much about it. Boy, the kids know so much more about it than I do. I'm not sure there's much I can do to help them. Um, so we have the kid father who says, "You do my website and I'll do your homework." Or the teacher who says to the kids, "There aren't any icons to click. It's a chalkboard." And we have the kindergartner complaining that his kindergarten classroom didn't have Wi-Fi. So we have this sense that these technologies are being adopted by our students, and yet we hear over and over that when they come to the classroom door, they have to disconnect and they can't use these technologies. So there's a sense that there must be some way of being able to integrate those Web 2.0 technologies that the kids are so excited about into the classroom. One little warning here, though. The research is still out on the whole concept of digital natives, and one of the things we're going to do in this class is challenge some of these ideas that get out there in the world. One of the problems with the technologies is that it's very easy to pretty quickly disseminate information, particularly if you're somebody like Mark Prensky, the gentleman who coined the term digital natives. Prensky works at MIT. When Prensky talks, people listen. So Prensky said, "Oh, kids are digital natives. This is how they learn. This is how they're growing up." Well, researchers are starting to tease that out, and they're discovering that Prensky's ideas may not be really research based here. So one of the things we're going to do in this class is always push the envelope a little bit in terms of challenging general notions, and really learning to think for ourselves. The other thing I did a search for was school reform, because of course that's a huge pressure now as well. And technology is seen as a way of encouraging school reform, of allowing us to do collaborative work, of allowing us to really reach out to students in ways that we haven't been able to before, using technology to support their teaching and learning. I think one of the things we want to be careful with is that we're not always kind of teaching to the test, and making sure that we don't use powerful technologies like, say, an interactive whiteboard just to have kids click in their answers or do rote kinds of things in anticipation of the tests. And I think that's one of the things that educational technology school reformers worry about as well, that we have the opportunity to have our kids writing and publishing potentially to the whole world. Let's focus on those aspects a little bit more than, oh, look how easy it is to give a multiple choice test when you use a student response system sort of thing. But we can't deny the fact that there are standards of learning. Here's the Google image search for Virginia Standards of Learning. The tests are a very real thing. Student test scores are a very important thing. And so we understand that as much as we want to think about big picture issues and we want to probe this idea of what 21st century learning in classrooms look like, ultimately the state has set standards to which we must help our students meet. And that's something we'll keep in mind. And finally, the other thing that we'll really keep in mind is that y'all are going to become school principals. You're going to be working not in cyberspace. You're not going to be working here in Web 2.0. You're not going to be out there necessarily sort of doing the political things related to school reform. But every day, you and these kids, whether you want to call them digital natives or not, are going to be together in school. And so we want to make sure that as you're working through the course, you are very much learning skills and creating documents and doing activities that are going to serve you once you become a school principal. So much of what you do here is creating statements about things and designing projects that are going to help you improve your skills, but also help you become a better administrator and a better school leader. So let's go back here to our presentation real quick. Just a couple general pieces of information. So here are the topics we're going to cover. We'll start off with this big picture idea and just kind of probe some of these notions of Web 2.0 and digital natives and those kinds of things. We are going to spend some time right at the beginning of the course talking about web-based collaborative technologies, i.e. Web 2.0. I don't like the Web 2.0 thing, so I call them the longer name. We'll be using a web-based collaborative technology through Google as our course site, and you'll have the chance to experiment with various kinds of technologies. But then you're also going to talk about how you might use them instructionally, and we'll be talking about how you encourage teachers and how you help train teachers to better use technology in their classrooms. It's all well and good, but if you don't have any money for it and you haven't planned ahead, you're probably going to run into some issues here. So we'll also be talking about planning and funding for technology. Big topic right now, particularly as the Virginia Board of Education is considering some guidelines for the prevention of sexual misconduct and abuse that include these very kinds of technologies that we'll be talking about. We'll spend some time on internet safety and ethics. And then finally, at the end of the course, you'll have a chance to pull it all together by creating a vision for your school that includes ideas for how you'll integrate technology. Just some general expectations here as we end this particular video. I need you to check your email, and you'll be able to tell me which email address you would like to use. I have a variety of email addresses, as you'll learn, but I tend to use my VCU email. But I need you to commit to checking your email, whichever one you decide, every day, really. Particularly at the beginning of the class, I'm going to be communicating with you a lot. It's an online class. We don't get to meet face to face, so I really need to make sure that everybody's on the same page, and I need to hear from you. So please let me know the email that you wish to use, and then I need you to commit to checking it once a day. I need you to check the website as well. I'll be posting announcements. We'll be creating things. There'll be video casts like this one that will go up. So I need you to check the website probably 3 or 4 times a week. I'd say Monday, Thursday, and then once over the weekend. But if you could get in Monday, Thursday, and twice over the weekend, that'd be great too. Mostly, I need you to commit yourself to participate and collaborate. If you haven't ever taken an online class, this is going to be a new experience for you. We'll be collaborating online, and it's very much different from a face-to-face class. I'd like you to sort of keep an open mind, but really commit yourself to digging in and being part of this experience. The biggest thing for me is that you have a sense of adventure. Technology doesn't always work. You will find yourself frustrated at points during this class, I can guarantee it. But what I need to know is that even as you're frustrated, you're still willing to work through it. And I'm only ever an email away, and I'm always happy to help. So I'm looking forward to learning with all of you. This is an exciting class, and I think it's one that you're really going to enjoy. So let's get started.